Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Nikki says Dobre Dan. Dobre Dan? Is it Dobre Diem or Dobre Dan? Is it afternoon? It's afternoon. Is that what it means? Dobre Dan means afternoon. Says Dobre Dan. Hope you're gotten some rest. Well, большое спасибо. Красивой барышня. How about that? Yes, I did, but I'm still spent. I can't believe it. I hadn't done this for over a year, and then I hadn't gone to the gym for like 3-4 months, and then went on this thing. But mentally, I'm ready to go again today. But physically, I know it won't happen. So, and I can feel it everywhere. Just everywhere. Just waiting. I probably would like to spend the day just doing my work and eating and stuff like that. But thank you so much. I hope you're feeling better too, as I think you had some real workout yesterday. And Gavin says, hello, Mehran. Hello, Gavin. Male 27 Tennessee says, I'm sure you got some rest. I did. But I'm feeling super tired today. How come? I have so much homework to do. Lol, not fun. Well, yeah, but you're doing it for a reason, right? So that's perfect. All right. Yeah, so you translate it to why you're doing that, then you'll realize that you want to do that. You want to spend time to study and do your homework because it's important to you. You're not doing it for fun, you're doing it for some elevation in the version that you have now through your knowledge and consciousness. So welcome it. Make a cup of tea or whatever you like and go to it. Learn it. See what it says. And even if you're not interested in the topic, but it's part of the whole shebang. So go for it. Nikki says, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if I'll go my night walk tonight. Probably not. I can feel it everywhere. It just says, please feed me. Feed me and don't take me anywhere. And Maliha is here, female, 27, Pakistan. Hello, Mehran. Hello, dear Maliha. How have you been? Jack, where have you been, Colonel? Says, hello, Mehran. And Jack says, tea of Harrogate by appointment of Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, aka your boss. That's right. She's your boss, that's for sure. But have some tea anyhow. This is such an amazing tea. Yeah, I'm still recovering. But I wish I should have done that like maybe many, many times since last year. But the opportunity didn't come up. And Luna says, Salam, dear Mehran. كيفك هذا المساء Well, actually, it's afternoon, but shukran ana tamam al masaa. And Luna says, good to be tuning in again. Yeah, where have you been? Luna says 35 female UK. Oh, you missed it again. Yeah, I see that now. You got it. Sorry, I mean F35 UK. Yes, that's a code. 35 F UK. And I read Nikki's. Nikki says, me too. I'm still dead from yesterday. I've been reading my book all day. Just now at 4 p.m., I'm kind of getting my energy somewhat back. Yeah. Ankle hurts. 2 hours hike killed me. Yeah. Oh, 2 hours hike. Well, yeah. That's a long walk. So you had a real long walk, too. Rolling On says, hi, Mehran. Hope your Sunday is going good. Male 33, Texas. Hello, Texan friend. Where were you yesterday? I guess, was it Gavin was asking about you, and I noticed, yeah, you're not here either. EJ Hunt says, hello, female 32 UK. Hello, EJ. Good to see you, dear. And if I had the other way around, Luna, like you would have, the way you wrote it first, and if EJ would have wrote it first like that, anyone from UK would do it that way. It would mean like they're in so many codes. The only thing difference is just their number. All right. Let's get serious. Luna says, Na'iman. The phrase we use means freshness. Na'i. Na'i. Man. Na'i iman. Na'i iman. The phrase we use to mean freshness. On your freshly shaven hair. Yeah, shaven hair. This can also be symbol of purification or renewal in some ways. Well, yeah, but you weren't here when I was telling the story. It wasn't supposed to be the samurai cut. It was supposed to be just, that's what my son said. I don't know if you were here a few days ago when I was there. After visiting my mom, we all went to his place and everybody went to do their things. And him and I were alone with Rain, his dog. And then he said, Dad, this is really terrible. Let me cut your hair. I mean, I have things because he shaves his head. And he says, I have things, all these, the things that, the machine and all the different gauges and all that. I said, no, it's okay. I am getting used to it. I don't mind it. It's long. Anyway, some change. He says, no. This is not how you looked. This looks like Doc Emmett Brown at Back to the Future. So he said, I want to, see you proper, like when you would cut your hair like military style. That's, So I said, okay, we'll have, so we'll do it. So he started and it was going fine. We laughed a lot. We laughed like crazy, just the way everything was coming together. And then he kept changing the gauges of the machine. And then eventually he says, oops. I goofed that. I said, what? He said, in the back, it's a little bit high now. I got to fix it. I said, no, leave it. It's okay. He said, no. So he went on and then he changed the gear and he said, oh, I also made a mistake. The gear I wanted to use 2, but it's like half. So pretty much it's skin deep, like skin. Close to it. But we had a hoot. We laughed so hard that he was on the floor laughing his head off. And Rain was wondering what's going on with these two laughing so hard. So now that's why. It wasn't supposed to be samurai cut, but it is. So hence the hat. But thank you for referring to it as fresh. I appreciate that. And Luna says, Alhamdulillah. Gavin says, wow, I love that. It's very positive way to look at homework. Yeah, dude, you want to do that. Your future depends on it. Dr. Emmett Brown. And Sagata says, you missed me, sir, in the first comment. Anyways, hello again. I'm here, male 31 India. Did I miss you? Where were you? Let's find Sagata. I don't see you here. I have. Oh, yes, you did. How did that come by? Oh, I think it was just hidden up. Like the first one I saw was the second comment from Nikki. But he right before it is Sagata, and before that is Nikki again. Ah. All right. Hello, Sagata. Hope you're doing well. And thank you for that. So where were we? Sagata is here. You missed me. Okay, yeah. So Jack says, I'm very happy with my new girlfriend. Ah, good. But the random thoughts of my ex pop on my mind. So what? That's what thought does. Randomly pops up. You can't erase your memories for, like, if you really want to locate them. When you don't think about them and focus on life, they disappear and hardly found unless you go hunting for them. But randomly you pops up in your mind. That's what it does. On the odd times, yeah, sure. So what? Ignore it. Is this normal? Yeah, it is normal. Remember, this is why people get all kinds of weird thinking, because thoughts appear out of nowhere. It's an independent system. Shows up. It could be this, and some people could have other kind of intrusive thoughts. Because this is also intrusive because you didn't initiate it. But it triggered some memory because of some certain thing. But there are worse than this that thought does. It pops up something that you have nothing to do with, have no interest in it. Like all the intrusive thoughts, pedophilia thoughts, killing someone thoughts. You know, we all have had these thoughts passing through the brain. But you're the boss and you don't pay attention to them or consider them of anything worthy to concentrate or even consider them. You know that they're against your values. They're all meaningless to you. They're not anything. They have nothing to do with you, but they show up. And that's what the brain does. They show up with thoughts, you know, but you're not going to act on them whatsoever because it's not something that but that's what brain does. Lots of statics, in disturbance, distractions, all kinds of things shows up there, but it has nothing to do with you. It's irrelevant to you. So this is just okay. The thoughts that appear are all kinds. As I mentioned, weird things. Pedophilia, want to kill someone, push someone over the, stand on the, what is it? Where you're standing waiting in the tube, waiting for the train. Want to push somebody there. The thought may come, but you never act on it. Homosexual thoughts, your heterosexual, homosexual thoughts come in. That you like that another man. You want to kiss that guy. But you've got nothing to do with it. But these thoughts make your biology react to it, and you think, oh, that means I have interest in this. No. It could attack you with anything opposite to the gender that you really are. So your heterosexual attacks you with homosexual thoughts. You're homosexual, attacks you with heterosexual thoughts. These are thoughts that are irrelevant to you, and that's how it works. We don't have a perfect brain. We simply have a brain that malfunctions. And this is what it does. 80, 90,000 thoughts a day show up in your head. Many of them are just disgusting to you, and many of them are just irrelevant. So that's your job to simply understand this, and don't think thoughts is you, because you're not thoughts. Thoughts are not you. You're not the brain. Brain is not you. You are you above these all, and you judge thoughts as they show up, and you focus on what's relevant to you, and you move on. And eventually they learn to show up less and less. The qualities may change. But usually when you're very strong, imaginative mind and brain, there's more statics and more of these nonsense show up. Because then from the other side of it, a strong imaginative mind that has all these kind of intrusive thoughts showing up, annoying and all that, but also is so powerful that they can come up with solutions that nobody else can. Inventive, new designs, new inventions, all kind of solutions. They come up with solutions more than anybody else that comes. That's the positive part of the whole thing. So, chill out and enjoy. And Jack says, I've just got back to my army cap after 2 months leave. Really? Due to COVID-19. Oh, wow. That's a long time of leave from the army in the middle of training. All I can say is my hair is a bit too long then. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is what you gotta have. This is even shorter when I was in the army. Too long then. Army dress regulations would like, oh yeah. And you know what, when you cut your hair, like when I remember, I tell you a story that I don't know if you identify with or not. When we first got all our names were called and we knew where to go to join a unit or whatever, the first day, the very, very first day. So we see guys, different guys from all over the country, and so we kind of introduce ourselves, get to groups, and hope that we'll be in the same group, so we end up in the same unit because we just got to know each other. So a bunch of us kind of got to know each other, and we all had hair because it was the first day. Once we were assigned the unit, then eventually after a day, when we got to know where our bunkers are and all that, and they took us to the barber. I don't know if I think we already cut our hair outside, or was it in there? I don't know. Maybe we were let go home to cut hair, come back, and the ones who didn't, they took them right to the barber in the middle. Anyhow, we had seen each other with hair. And then in the unit, when we got in there and we had our hair shaved, it was a time that the lieutenant was coming to inspect, every day, every morning. Either the sergeant comes or the lieutenant. This day, it was the first time lieutenant was coming. And it wasn't just the second lieutenant or third, it was the first lieutenant. It was a real important guy in the whole, everybody knew him. His training was the toughest guy in that whole battalion, whatever it is called. That was our unit's head commander. So he was coming in, viewing everybody, and my bunker was here, and my friend's bunker here, and of course bunkers and after bunkers, and ours were the two rows, and I was in this row and he was in this row. So when we're standing on attention in front of our bunkers waiting to be inspected, so we're facing each other. And for the first time I'm seeing him with no hair, and for the first time he's seeing me with no hair, and we can't stop laughing. We can't stop laughing. We are red to scalp and the face, and we are laughing. And this is no joke. The army officer is inspecting. You can't be laughing. You're going to go to jail. Anyhow, I don't know how we managed it. We couldn't laugh. We could look like two tomatoes, and we had never seen each other that way. So we managed somehow. By the time we got two people away from us, somehow we stopped, and we were inspected and all that. So anyhow, it was funny to me. I don't know if it was funny for you guys, but I just wanted to. All right. Luna says, sounds like a lovely bonding session. Oh, yeah. We've had many of these sessions. So let me see where I left off. Because when I pick up one thread of question of person or comment, I try to finish that. Mm-hmm. Luna says, Asar, afternoon. I should have said, I get it. Asar. And Rolling On says, Ash, I was watching a show in TV last night. Aha. All right. Good. Lovely Lily. Good of you. That's my girl. Lovely Lily is far better than Silly Lily. There you go. So it's 29 F Pakistan. That's such a difference. Such a difference. Great job. Lovely Lily says 29 female Pakistan. Assalamu alaikum, she says. Mehran, thank you. And she says, feeling sad. Why? Today, an Indian actor commits suicide due to depression. My friend said, when we are away from religion, this happens. Is it true? No, not at all. It's nothing to do with religion. Absolutely not. This is a way they're trying to control you by the way of religion. No. Religion, whoever wants religion and enjoys his life or her life with religion and benefits from the teachings of religions, as long as it's not too dogmatic and separates you from other human beings, making you think that because you're religious, you're better than other people. That's not what religion wants to do. Any religion in the world, the 5 big religions in the world, they all have intentions to bring the best version of you for you, whoever you are. But somewhere along the line, they got all mixed up. But all these abuser leaders, so to speak, they call themselves a leader of the religion, but they've abused the whole intention of the religion, turned it into a cult, turned it into multi-level marketing. Recruit this, recruit that, and say, well, we're better than that. We're better than the other religion. Oh, that religion is bad. We are good. So they've created something that religion never was meant to. Religion was meant to bring the human beings from those uncivilized and savage ways of the past into a new era, so they stop killing themselves, each other, and start learning compassion and be brotherly and sisterly and help each other to go through this journey of life. But suddenly, each one came along and they had their own ego that mine is better, but they were all preaching the same God. Yet, come to me, let's go to, well, it's the same destination. I go with whatever that makes me more comfortable. So that is a personal choice. But the people who are not religious, I know many people who are religious and all their life been religious, but they're the most garbage human beings I've ever seen. And I have known many people who have never seen or are no longer religious or never been, but they are beautiful people, compassionate, helpful, amazing human beings. So, and then I've seen many religious people who are amazing, wonderful, compassionate, kind human beings, and I've seen many non-religious people who are assholes. So you can't really tell it's a religion that only religion can make you a good person or a bad person. Both are possible. Good or bad possible when you're religious. Good or bad is possible if you're not religious at all. So don't let people brainwash you. You just take what you want and use it to make yourself a better person, a better version of yourself, in harmony with the way of nature, in harmony with love, kindness, in harmony to letting things advance and grow and develop, helping things, whether it's a flower or another human being. That is the universal religion now. Whatever you want to call it, you may. So don't believe into that. It's just a way of manipulating you. You want to be religious? Be religious. You don't want to be religious? Don't be religious. But at all times, be human being. Be a good human being. That's the whole reason for being religious, is to be a good human being. Learn where you come from or how to can reach that level of betterment. So if it's done through religion for you, go for it. If it's done through other things, other ways that you figured out, you're a great human being, go for it. They're all one and the same. The intention is what it is, not the path, the address, like which way I take. Where you want to go is the most important, not in which direction you take that to go to that destination. Religions are simply pathways, but the destination is what should be focused. Not that, I try to be a good person by praying 50 times a day. Or the other one says, I try to be a good person by praying 30 times a day. Or the other one says, I try to be a good person and find that destination that makes me to be that wonderful person with no praying, but I do all the good things that I should be doing. I care and pay attention to all the things that I should be paying attention to as a human being, to all the brothers, sisters, and everybody else in this world. Well, there's no difference between any of them. They're all good. So, if my jacket is sewn, designed, and cut and put together in the way that it fits me and suits me, and 10 other jackets are made with the same tailor, same way, but one of them is called this brand, the other one that brand, the other one that brand, the other one this brand, and one of them no brand, but they're all the same. Doesn't matter what brand you call them. So you want to call them Islam, you want to call them Buddhism, you want to call them Judaism, you want to call them Christianity, you want to call them whatever you want to call them. If you're a good person, you're a good person. If you're a bad person, you're a bad person. It doesn't matter what brand it is. The quality of it is important, not the name of the brand. So focus on that and live your life. Because if you believe in God, then God is one. So it doesn't matter what religions you want to arrive to it. The destination is the same. Some people call it nature, some people call it God, some people call it universe, some people call it energy. It's all the same. It's all about you having the right direction to become that amazing person that makes this universe become wiser and elevated in a different level. That's what we are here to do. Not to fight against each other. I'm this religion, so I'm better. Who says? You can have any religion you want, but you can still be an asshole. Or you have no religion, but you're a great person. That means you're religious. That means you're one with what you say God wants you to be, what universe, nature wants you to be. You're in harmony with the energy and the makeup of this universe, like the plants and trees are. They don't have religion, but they are in harmony with the nature. That's what we want to do. All right. That's a long discussion. It's not going to end. So let's move on to Luna says, I used as a term of realization. Oh. I see. I thought it's part of the teaching. And Rolling On says, Mehran, does your son speak your native language? Kind of, yes. Kind of, with accent. I believe it's Farsi or just English. Well, we just speak English, but sometimes when we want to be a little bit more private, if we are somewhere that we want to just, you know, talk about something nobody else can figure out, I switch, but his vocabulary is limited, so it's, he does, but he has a limitation on, like not the way I would speak, but he does. He also speaks the same in German because his mom is half German. So, so he's got languages that is very helpful. Jack says, I've just got back to my army cap after 2 months. Oh, yeah, we read this one, didn't we? And Steven says, hello, Mehran. Hello, Steven. Steven says, hello, everyone. Steven, male, 40, Los Angeles. Maliha says, Sagota says, hello. Oh, you're talking to Lily, okay. Maliha says, Mehran, how to cope with losses in life? See, loved ones, vulnerability makes me sad. Sometimes life is so cruel. Yes, it is. But Maliha, nobody said that when we come to this world, it's all going to be sweets and honey. It's an experience. So in that experience, lots of bad things are there too, and we got to learn from it. So there was this gentleman from States. I think at the time he was talking to me, he was 69 years old, and he had lost his mom. So he needed some discussion help, so I made this video for him. Maybe I can refer you to it too. Let's see if I can find it. What about loss of a family member? Yeah, that's what I'm going to put here for you, just in case you were interested to watch it. It's a little bit long, but I have shorter versions, but I think that is something that you might want to enjoy. It's 36 minutes. And then I have a short one, which is 9 minutes, but it's just not complete. All right. And there's the short version. I don't know if that's the same video, but it's just another one. That was a live talk. The second one's a live talk version. So we have Scott here. Says, Mehran, good afternoon. My favorite person. Hello, Scott. Good to see you. And Scott says, lately, I have been feeling so angry and snapping at people. I'm not so sure why I have this anger. Well, naturally, you're still angry because of you think she was an anomaly, and because she was a little bit demanding, it made you feel like a man that you are. I have a woman and she's demanding and I try to please her, and that made you feel good in a way. And sometimes it does that to a man. But then if you think it through, you'll see, nah, that was not genuine. She was trying to, at the time she was okay, but later she changed and then continued being a jerk. And then you still looked at her as you looked at her at the beginning, the way she was. But she wasn't. She wasn't genuine. So you're upset at that because you missed that. And because you haven't found anyone that you somehow given a chance to. Because you're constantly thinking about, wow, how great that was. I mean, can you imagine that the whole world would think, oh, that girl is the only woman that could make this world amazing? How silly could that be? Honestly. So that's why you're angry, because you haven't allowed yourself to see the discrepancies in her, the imbalance in her, the intentions in her, the fact that she was of pretty much low class, trying to pretend she's a high class by pressuring you to do things for her to make her feel good. So you were having a relationship with the ego of a person rather than that person feeling. Those kind of people are worse than snakes because they have nothing to offer. They're only there to take, like a sponge. They take as much as you give them, and they take them. And they've got nothing to give back. But it makes you feel, because you get conditioned that I'm pleasing someone, that means I'm somebody. No, you're pleasing an asshole who has no understanding why she's in the relationship other than, I want to see what it is. I'm out of my country. It's hard to have a relationship there, so I'm here. I'm just having the world. So she's taking care of herself, and things change, suddenly cut. That's not a real balanced person who can just like that. So, and then the things that she uttered to you, that you're going to be in trouble if you call me or this and that, they threaten you. That's an asshole. Face it. And so he says, I think it has to do with the breakup. Oh, yeah, there we go. You think? And how I was treated. There we go. I didn't even read the rest of it. It looks like you're coming to the right point then in the relationship. And yes, you're good then. This is a good angry then. Because you're seeing that what a tool you were, that you allowed someone to use you. But you know what? It's okay, because you enjoyed it and you learned from it. It's perfectly fine. Perhaps this is what you needed to kick you in the butt, to see yourself as you are, the man that is looking for some quality, but this wasn't the quality. So now look for a girl who's going to give you some balance. The next girl comes into your life, you will actually see, wow, what a difference. This is a woman, not that. Who was that bitch? Because right now, you were having a relationship with that one based on your needs and the novelty of it. But now you have enough experience to choose based on qualifications rather than what it was that you could experience that you hadn't experienced. Scott says, do you think I should just scream in a pillow sometimes and let it out, or exercise? Let out what? Yeah, if you consider it to be a fart, let it out. I agree with you. But if you think there's something important you want to let it out, no, what's important about it? That doesn't define you. Some user, a jerk, a low-class woman, cannot define you because you simply needed to feel the way you did with her. But it doesn't define you, what she did, what she didn't. She left, she didn't, she treated you this way or not. All she did, she defined herself. And if you're wise enough, you will see this lesson was for you to see how she was defined by her own actions. Then you will see who you are, who she was, rather than thinking her behavior defines you. That never happens. Nobody defines other people by their behavior. Nobody defines me by the way they behave with me. They define themselves. So the same thing with you. And he says, I think it's just a shitty feeling to be dropped. You weren't dropped. The girl couldn't hack you. The girl couldn't live up. How long do you think a fake would be able to keep up with that theater? She could see she had gone too far. You had catered to her, and she didn't have anything to keep up that illusory bullshit class that she had created in your mind, in your simple mind. That was time to bow out before the jig is up, before they figure out you were impressed by something that wasn't qualified to be impressed, but you had not seen, you hadn't gone to a amazing, elaborate restaurant to try all the amazing foods, not to be impressed by a lower class restaurant. You had not gone to such high class restaurants with such amazing food. So the restaurant that you went to seems really good because you didn't have anything to compare it with. So there was no point of relevance, point of comparison, Therefore, to you, that was wow. But leave that restaurant, go to somewhere that is really wow, chefs are cooking and baking and all that. Then you see, what kind of shithole was that? You haven't come to that. Once you find other and other and other relationships, then you begin to have some measuring for comparison. Then you can see this thing was a real dump. And you're lucky that she didn't keep her claws on you. Because, she found a sucker. She didn't know it at the beginning. She liked you and everything but once you start treating her so well, she didn't have the capacity. She then thought, oh, she's better than him. But she wasn't. You made her feel so good. You made her feel that she's better than you because you were humble and strong, but she was weak and not knowing what being a good person is. So she kind of felt like, oh, it's me. I'm so good that he behaves with me like that. Not that you're so good. You see, there are two ways to think of some people. If I walk out of my home and every day that I walk out, somebody says to me, good morning, sir. And I see that continue, good morning, sir. So there are two ways for me to think. One is that I'm such a great, amazing person that this man gets up from his chair and takes his hat off and says, good morning, sir. So I must be really something. So I would say, good morning. The other way would be, wow, this man is so humble and so great that he gets up from his chair and says good morning to me. He must be really gracious, kind, respectful. That's the character that he has. The two way of thinking. You went along with thinking that, oh, she must be really great. And she, instead of thinking that you're so great, that gives her so much kudos or attention, she thought she's great. Why? Because she had never seen someone like you to pay so much attention to her. That made her to realize an illusory character, image of her, that you gave it to her. And she didn't understand that she has that for the grace of your attention. She thought, oh, it's me. I must be really that good. Why? What's good about you? In bed? Well, that's because he hasn't had much. That's why you seem so good. But if he has had point of reference, then you wouldn't be that great. You would be, oh, okay. That's what I expect. So if you put all these together, you can see why you have put her in a pedestal when she didn't belong there at all. At all. So simmer down, relax. You don't have to scream in a pillow or anywhere. Just fart it out and understand that, well, it was what you learned, and go on, find other really nice girls, and then understand how you'll be treated properly. And don't change yourself. Still treat them nicely. Not overly, but nicely. This one wasn't worth it. That's all you should think about. And this is and from someone, says, feeling to be dropped and cut from someone's life after you did a lot. Yeah, but you did a lot for the wrong person. It's like saying, I feel really disappointed having trained this donkey and it still cannot go to a horse race because you spent your knowledge and energy on the wrong animal. That's a donkey. It can never be a racehorse. Go find a racehorse, a thoroughbred, then you will see what kind of racehorse that will become. So you spend your time and energy and attention on a wrong girl who didn't have it in her to appreciate good behavior and treatment. She didn't find herself worthy of it. Therefore, she just jumped up as, oh, I gotta now, measure up to some kind of a level. And she created some kind of a shit that you fell for it. But she would have never become what you thought she would become if you treat her the way you did. Because she didn't have the capacity. She didn't even understand those behavior and those attentions and, interaction and treatment. So the same thing. Find the right stock, then you put your heart into it. Not for any kind of garbage that shows up. That's your mistake. Now, so I know I have to let it go, but I've been so angry these days. No, don't have to be angry, dude. Don't have to be angry. Learn from it. This is your lucky day. This is your chance that you've gone through this so you won't be bamboozled again. And you will simmer it down. When you see a girl, oh God, great, she's cute and all that. Don't fall over yourself. Just steady as she goes. Tiptoe into the ocean and see how far you can still reach the bottom and you won't be drowned, to see if it's suitable for swimming and if it's safe or not. Otherwise, you go into things without really measuring anything. That's the mistake. But this wasn't a mistake. It was an experience and a lesson for you to become a more wiser and more, knowledgeable man. And that's what it is. What's the anger? Get off your ass and go pick up some dates. That's what you do. 100 times. Get rejected 100 times. That's all right. You learn. You learn how to behave, how to say, how not to say, and all that. It's a game. Go enjoy it. Don't be like that. Otherwise, you know what happens. You know what happens. Right? It's still here. The ugly stick is here. So don't think that, it's just sitting there quiet, but don't think that it's not thinking. Jack says, nothing worse than trying not to laugh in special. Oh yeah, man, that was something. And James says, why do these homosexual thoughts come? It's a malfunction of the brain, and as I've explained it thoroughly in the playlist called Intrusive, Transient, OCD HOCD Negative Thoughts. Go to my playlist, find this playlist that I just said, and then watch. There are like 50 videos there, but you only need to watch 20 of them, and they're all numbered. Number 1, not part 1 of 2 or anything. No, number 1, number 2, number 3, they're all standalone videos. Follow them to 20. You'll get enough knowledge that you need, and also the links of the scientists, Dr. Schwartz, Dr. Philipson, Dr. Jan Weiner, they're all, and other therapists, and even regular people's videos. The links are all there for you to get the information you need to know what it is and how you handle it. It's a long discussion. I can't do it all here. James. Rolling on says, Mehran, you missed my question. Did I now? Guys, we only have 10 more minutes because I only keep it to 1 hour now. Let's see. What did I lose? Rolling on's question. No, I didn't lose it. I answered it. Maybe you put it there before I answered it. And Didi Berry says, hello, sir. I'm 25 from Minnesota, male. How important is loyalty in life and how much should we value it? Depends. If you mean loyalty from you to someone or for someone to you. There is no happiness if there is no loyalty. But that's about you to be loyal to something. And I don't mean that to be loyal to your girlfriend, partner, whatever your relationship is. I mean being loyal to something that is really solid, valuable. Some things loyal to some value, some meaningful, some goal. Loyalty to your children, to see them happy, taken care of, safe, secure. That loyalty, you don't expect anything for it. Therefore, it's a pure loyalty. You become happy in their happiness. You become comfortable in their comfort. You feel safe and secure in their safety and security. That's the loyalty I'm talking about. So loyalty is very important for you to be loyal to something, a cause, a reason, a value, in this case, children, people. But how important is for someone to be loyal to you, worth nothing if they don't want to be. And you shouldn't be hanging on, she wasn't loyal to me, or part of your family wasn't loyal to me, and then you're devastated. Don't. Because their level of interaction with you defines them, not you. This is why you're pissed off. That, I want loyalty from them to me so I feel good about myself. No, your feeling good about yourself should not be about making your ego feel good. Should not be about dependent on something else to feel good about yourself. Your feeling good about yourself should be independent of everything else and how other people behave or stay loyal or treat you. That's a whole two different story. And says, and Niligani says, Mehran, 23 male London, please, what life advice do you recommend for someone my age when it comes to dating at 23 after a breakup? Should I be quick to get back into a relationship and fall in love? If should that happen, why not? But not on purpose. Because right now, if you want to replace your intention to be in a relationship is to replace something, then you're not looking for quality. You just want to replace it. Like you have a shelf, a ornament has fallen and broken. Maybe a glass that you bought it, I don't know, somewhere in some handmade studio, somewhere in Germany or France or Italy. And you have been having that on the shelf in your home. And now it's fallen and broken. So now if you want to replace it so it won't be empty there, you're going to find anything that kind of has the similar design or looks kind of same size to fill that space. Of your intention to fill that space is just because you want to fill the space. So you'll pick up anything that fits the size. But you're not choosing that thing for quality, workmanship, and style, history, none of that. You just want to fill that gap. That means you will fill that gap, but it may not have the quality and the message that it has represent that what it represent as it did the one previously that you had. It's a two different thing. So if it's going to be for replacement, No. But if you genuinely fall in love with someone that you see, wow, she's so different than the other person and she's amazing and I want to get to know her and all that, well, that's different. But don't push yourself just to get rid of it. Deal with that breakup separately. Then when you have dealt with it, which everything you need is on this channel. I've got over 1,700 videos on the topic of breakup and how to move on. Go through them on my playlists or on all the individual videos. Just type in how you feel, one word, in the search engine, and I'll give you a bunch of videos and choose from them. Deal with that breakup separately and then go on for whatever long that takes. Go for a new date. And trying my best, says 44 male, Colorado. Thank you for that. Says, my wife left me after 12 years of marriage 2 years ago. I had a gal I got super close to soon after. She was an angel and was there for me. We got close, but then after she swore she loved me and would always be there, she was cheating and trying to keep me too. Wanted her cake and eat it too. Okay. Eventually her lies got her busted and he left me. And he left me. What happened? Or she left you? I'm confused. Okay. Eventually her lies got her busted, I guess, and she left me. No contact for 2 months now. I thought I was over her, but now I'm weeping missing her. What's wrong with me? Do I need help? You just need to understand to focus on her actuality as what you found out about her and what she was doing, instead of perceiving her based on how she used to be with you when you didn't know what she was doing and you were buying into the nonsense that she was uttering. And maybe she believed in it, but that was dishonest. Even though if she believed that she loved you and she'll be with you and all that, but it was not truthful in her feelings towards you being exclusive. So you're still thinking about her as you did when you didn't know what she was doing. And you would like to believe that she was that. And you're purposely superimposing that characteristics onto her actuality now, so you can cover the image that she actually has with the image that she never did have, but you prefer her to have that. And therefore, just like before, when you had a relationship between the image you had made out of her in your mind and the image you had of yourself in your mind, now you also want to have an image that you have superimposed on her, rather than having a relationship not with the past image of her, but with the actuality of her. You don't choose to have a relationship with the actuality of her, which when you focus on that, you'll say, no, I want to have nothing to do with that woman. But you do think that you do want to have something to do with that woman because you're not seeing the image she has today. You're seeing her with the perception of how she used to be and the image you had of her in your mind then, which didn't include knowing about the stuff that you know now. So if you see her in the right light, as she is, and a human being is just designed to forget a bad thing and focus on the good stuff, so you choose to see her as how she was sweet to you. That's the nature of human being. We don't like to remember the bad stuff about someone. We prefer, especially if it's in relationship, we prefer to think how good they were, because that is what human beings' characteristic is, which is good. Otherwise, you would be mad at the whole world. But you need to see her in the correct light, in her actuality, and then decide if you still miss her or not. But don't let, when you see her and think of her actuality, be covered up with the characteristics that you had given to her in the past. Otherwise, they will never see the actuality, and you think, no, I still want her, because you can't see her as who she is. And you can never trust her again. So let it go, move on, find somebody else. And then probably you chose her based on your need after that divorce thing, not based on your qualification or qualifying her, based on the need you had, which may compromise, the quality of the selection. And let's go see. Stephen says, I feel like when you let go of a desire and stop chasing it comes, what do you think of this, Mehran? Yeah, you should never chase something that is not based on the actuality of that thing and based on your desire for it. When you desire something, go for that thing based of fulfilling your desire through the pleasure that you get, then you will always pay overpriced. If you're hungry and you go to a store has apple, you're willing to pay for that apple $10. But if you're not hungry, you will see, well, apple doesn't worth $10, maybe 50 cents. So if you go into a selection of something with your needs, then you will not be reasonable. You will not be balanced to see what it's really worth and what it's really offering. All you can see is that it's going to help me with my need. And that's the most important thing in the world. Why? Because you're the most important person in the world to you. So what can satisfy your need is the most important. And then you're willing to pay for it with your life if you have to. That's the problem. Don't go hunting for things or shopping for things based on your need. That's why you always go shopping when you're full, not when you're hungry. You end up buying so much junk and the prices that you don't even care. But if you go shopping with full tummy, you'll find based on quality and what you can afford and what you need. Like you would need later, but not what at this moment, I'm hungry, so you can buy everything. Haven't you had that happen to you? This is exactly the same when it comes to your relationships. Do not go select someone to be in a relationship with because you need to be in a relationship. You have urges, you have, you want, you want sex, you want intimacy, you want to hold her hand, you want to hold her, you want to have that images that you always liked, to walk with her and, by the sea walk or go to coffee or tea. That's not the reason to find someone for a relationship. You got to focus on the quality and actuality of her, and then you'll have a better chance. And Lovely Lily says, thanks, Mehran, dear, for a detailed and lovely reply. You're quite welcome. My pleasure. Roman says, male 41 Czechoslovakia. I'm sorry. It's a bad habit. It's an old habit. Czech Republic. My apologies. Hey, listen. It just happened only a few years ago. I was already half my age with that word. But anyhow, male 41 Czech Republic says, Dear Mehran, I'm now recovering from relationship with mentally ill person. My best friend recommended to me I should just have fun and joy now. And no woman. What do you think? Oh, let me read that again. I'm now recovering from relationship with mentally ill person. Oh, I see. Okay. My best friend recommended to me, well, right now, what's a hurry? You just had a relationship, whether it was mentally problem or regular, not mentally problem. It's all mentally problem, whether they're mental or not, whether they're having some issues and mental issues or not. It's always mental. The whole breakup and the whole thing. There's nothing physical about it, mostly. It's all mental. Affects you mentally, affects her mentally, her mentality affects you, her mentality affects. It's all in the consciousness. All the pains are illusory, but we feel them because it's against something. It's imbalancing some value, so on and so forth. Some image, some understanding, you know, all the things that you thought of yourself. And it's interfering with all that. So it's all mental. And after any relationship, it's a good idea to just leave it for a few weeks, maybe a month. Then you're ready because you've dealt with whatever it is, residuals that you wanted to deal with, and you're kind of finding your balance again. You know, it's like going for practice and you get injured a little bit, you know, in soccer, and you say, okay, for a few days I shouldn't play. You don't say, well, I got injured in this game, but that's another game, so I'll go in there. Well, you're injured, so you don't feel up to it. Like I went biking yesterday for a couple of hours with my son in the mountain. I'm still pooped. I'm talking to you guys and just going like that. So my mind says, I love to go riding again because it was great. But I have to remember how it was making me feel in some parts of it. So okay, I wait till I actually recover physically, and then I'll go. Same thing with you. Wait till you recover mentally, and then. The idea of it is good, but wait a while until you feel like, okay, I'm all right now. I'm balanced. Because otherwise, you're going to be unfair to the other person. You're going to not be able to see that other person. You're going to be seeing them as if it's a extension of the previous relationship, and you're going to be messing it up. So wait till you forget. This is what we used to do with the horses that they would brought to our club. I mean, we were a bunch of great riders. Our teacher was Colonel Neshati, graduate of the military school of riding in Saumur, France, top of the line. And he's recognized officially by the Saumur School of Riding right now, last year. He's gone many years. But we were trained by him, and we were pretty good riders. Weren't allowed to use spurs or whip. Just communication with the horses. And this is what we would do when they would bring a new horse from another club that was misused, abused, trained hard, and not properly. We would let the horse enjoy for a month at least. Eat, enjoy, go to the oval area, just run for himself. Just nothing. No training. None whatsoever. Because we wanted his mentality to kind of come back to its equilibrium and not have other things interfering with the new training. Then after a month, everything new. So, same thing. Consider yourself confined to the stable and eat hay and carrots and go out play. That's it. Learn things you want to learn. And Didi says, I love you, sir. We want you here forever. Well, gee, thank you very much. But first, I got to have 26,000 viewers instead of 26. Well, I appreciate it. So you guys, if you really want me around, then God damn it, do your best by promoting the channel, which starts right from here. This is the first link that I ask you guys to share it on your social media. It's 2 minutes. It talks about the live streaming that we have. And the other one that I want to ask you guys to share is this one. It's 47 seconds, and it tells about the channel or what we do here. And so these things, if you guys share it, will help us, you know, to bring people here to know that we exist, you know. And the last one that I really want to ask you guys to share, it's only 4 minutes, and that tells a lot more about what we do in this channel. The combination of these three that I have been sharing with you guys will help the channel, will help people to know who we are, what we do here. And if they choose to join us, it would be great. We will grow. Otherwise, there's no economic benefits. And as you know, if we are not self-sufficient, we won't be able to, I won't be able to spend enough time, because I love what I do here. I can see the difference around the world. And that gives me that motivation to do what I'm doing. But economics are economics. We got to get lots of subscribers. You know, you guys know there's garbage channels out there who've got 1 million subscribers. How? Why can't we get it? And we've got content second to none. You know that. So get your butts moving and share these 3 links on your social media and wherever else you can do that. I appreciate it. We need to grow. And Scott says, thank you so much, Mehran. I love your advice, and I'm definitely understanding more each day. I've been talking to a lot of girls and have some dates already good set up. Maybe that will help with the ugly stick. Yeah, the ugly stick is here. But when you go on date with the other girls, do not disrespect them by comparing them or thinking of the idiot ex, and not to have the opportunity to see these new girls as what they are, who they are, and to see your compatibility or the qualities that they bring to the table, rather than constantly be thinking about the ex while you're with them. Then you miss an opportunity. Be yourself and don't compromise for your qualities, but do not be thinking about that thingy. Focus on them. See what their life is all about. It's another human being. Has had a different experience in his life. Try to learn her. Maybe you don't like her. Great, fine, no problem. Next. But at least hear her out, see how she lives, what her life has been, what her interests are. That's how you do. What do you do when you teach hockey? You know, you get to know your student, what their abilities are, capabilities, limitations. Yeah? You can't be looking at this student and thinking about, oh, that student of mine really good. This one is not good. That student of mine really, I went so much energy and taught him so well, but this one, oh, I got to start all the way. You don't think that way, because that's not how that student got so well, right? Because of your attention. That girl seems so important to you because the attention you paid her. Now pay your attention to these ones and get to know them, and you'll appreciate the relationship you will build with them. All right. Gavin says, Mehran, we lost a actor in India. He was only 34 and committed suicide. Why people do that? What are your thoughts on that? He had money to go get help and could have used resources. Obviously, he didn't separate his thoughts from him. He thoughts are him. And his thoughts made him do what he did, because he had believed thoughts are him. The secret of life is to separate yourself from thoughts. There is a me, then thoughts were added to it. The me is the boss, not the thought. Thoughts show up, you gauge them against your values, and you see it's irrelevant and useless, you let it fall by recognizing that's an intrusive thought, that's a thought, it's not me, I'm not thought is not me. And you go on about your business. And then on that basis, you will be able to have opportunity to examine and get help or discuss, because you say such idea has shown up, but you know it's not you, then you have time to go and research it, discuss it, rather than taking clues from it or cues from it. or as if it knows more about you or life than you do. Thought has learned whatever it's learned from the pool of information that somehow got their way to come to you through media, news, lifestyles you saw out there, the problems or things that was created through malfunction in your head, or different scenarios that came to your head, or and different perceptions. But they have no actuality or no deity, or they're not coming from supernatural. So you got to treat them as the subordinate of you, and then you approach to heal yourself and find solutions in the meantime. But of course, I don't know his reason, so I don't know him. So this is just a general answer to your question. Rolling on says, okay, I will ask you the question tonight. Okay. Steven says, very true, Mehran. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Dudley says, did you get a haircut, Mehran? Yes, I got a skin cut. Haircut. Watch the video. I told you the story. I told the story before. Ross says, I have no dates set up, but my ex can set up loads of dating sites. And knowing how girls can get dates so easily as you endure alone. Well, come on now. Come on. We're guys. We don't ask for much. So anything that looks good, we say, oh, would you like to go out? But the girls are not like that. They're smart. They see what the guy is all about. You know, they want to see if the guy's got some manners, morals, what. So they investigate. Because they're not wired up like us. You know, you're a heterosexual male, you love women, and you're wired up for that. So you're programmed for procreation, pursuit of intimacy, sex. It's not to the credit of her that you're interested in her. She was born that way. She looks that way from birth. That's how she looks. It's not her accomplishment. So, and you're attracted to her looks. That's in your genes. But the relationship cannot be based on the attraction you have for her looks. You got to get to know her, who she is, what is her persona. That's a whole different thing. So that's what it is, and that's why they get lots of, asks for dates. But we are the ones who do the asking, because they don't look at us necessarily just only physically, and their attraction is more sophisticated than that. And Dart Ridiculous is helping the channel with $2 super chat, and he says, hello, hope everyone is doing well, and thank you for the super chat, Dart Ridiculous. Good to see you. You have been absent for a while. Guys, it looks to me that we have hit all the questions, and this is time I should cut it off and say thank you very much for being here. I love you all. And Excalibur at the last moment shows up. He says, holy shit, Mehran is no longer mafia boss. That's right. The hair is gone. Hope you're well there. Thank you very much, Excalibur. Good to see you here. It's time for me to cut it off, guys. I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and allowing me to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to talk to you again tomorrow, maybe at 1 o'clock Vancouver time, and or tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Vancouver time. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.